Many businesses, particularly in the hospitality and liquor sectors, have already been hit with significant job losses during the COVID-19 pandemic. Cape Town Tourism is asking President Ramaphosa to halt restrictions to prevent further job losses. Nasiphi is live for us in Cape Town. Nasiphi, I do understand you've got the tourism industry on standby with you there. Take us then through how bad it has been for them. All right, it doesn't look like our reporter Nasiphi can hear us. We'll try to reconnect with her at a later stage. Let's move to this now. Some of those who will be watching the President's address tonight closely will be those operating on the alcohol industry black market. Newzroom Afrika's Linda Mnisi has been speaking to liquor traders in Tembisa and joins us live now. Linda, it's always been a concern, the black market, especially when we saw the scenes of looting last week. There were concerns then that this alcohol is going to be finding itself into the black market and thus robbing those who are doing legitimate businesses to be able to earn an income.
Absolutely, Bongiwa. They've come to be known as the take it or leave it gang, who usually prey on the desperate liquor consumers who are caught napping when the president moves the country or bans the sale of alcohol during his coronavirus addresses. Now, contrary to, of course, the legitimate liquor traders, they're hoping that the ban will be kept, because essentially what it means, if it is lifted, then their sales will take a dive. I spoke to one of them on conditions of anonymity, and he gives us insights into how they operate and the charges, the cost of the alcohol during those bans, which of course is illegal, and gives us an indication of why exactly it is that they participate in this illegitimate business. Let's take a listen. Talk to us about how this industry operates. We understand obviously it's through the back door, it's illegal, usually flourishes around the times when alcohol is banned. But how accessible is alcohol, number one, for stocking, and how do you then distribute it?
Okay, in terms of getting supply, it's normally relations that are both with liquor outlet owners. They have stock in their premises and they have no way to get rid of it. So they give us this alcohol on consignment. Right. We give them an indication of what is in demand in the market at the moment, and they hand that over to us. So in terms of how we get it, we have to just make it clear as to how we go to the outlet unnoticed and make our way back to wherever it is where we are selling our alcohol from.
In terms of knowing your market and getting it out there, how would a client know that you're doing it?
It's word of mouth. Look at it this way. So if my circle of friends know that I have access to alcohol, they will probably let their circle of friends know. And then only deal with certain people. So I only let the people that are close to me get the orders, get the payments, and then take the alcohol or the stock rather to my close circle of friends, and then we'll distribute to whoever it is that purchased from me.
Obviously, it has come to be known as the take it or leave it industry. Talk to me about the pricing. Obviously, it's now competitive to the normal price because obviously alcohol is not available.
So the basic simple theory of supply and demand. The demand is high and the supply is scarce. So you have people that are willing to pay exorbitant amounts to get their supply. We basically double up on markup. So if I'm getting a bottle of gin for 450, I sell it for 300 Rand or 350.
And the profit, is it good?
It's basically 50% of what I'm getting at. So like I said, if my cost price is 150, I sell it for 300 Rand.
Okay. Talk to us about why you decided to do this.
At the end of the day, we have bills to pay, and life's got to go on. COVID pandemic, companies have restricted us in terms of salary cuts, others have been retrenched. So this is our only way of getting an additional source of income over and above the minimum that we currently have. I'm working with people that don't even have an income, so for them, this is actually helping them go by their daily expenses.
That's Linda Mnisi there speaking to a trader in the black market. You would have really heard just how much of a concern this was, especially during the looting, as those in the alcohol industry were fearing that this is what exactly is going to happen. That was Linda Mnisi there speaking to an exclusively to a trader there. Let's go to Cape Town. Nasiphi, when it comes to the tourism sector, it's really been one of those that has been hardest hit. What are they hoping to hear from the president tonight?
Well, Bongi, as you mentioned, the tourism sector in Cape Town says it's been hard hit by the coronavirus pandemic and the stringent lockdown, as we understand that the president will be making his announcement in a couple of hours regarding alert level 4 and whether or not we will be remaining in alert level 4. But I am joined here by Enva, who is the CEO of Cape Town Tourism, to talk about what are some of the aspects that he wants the president to touch on regarding the restrictions.
Well, good evening. So tourism has been decimated. If we look at it, that we are down 90% with international travel and about 60% down with domestic travel over the last 3 months. That means that the tourism industry has been suffering for the last 16 months. And what we're asking of the president is a few things. The first one is really look at the curfew. Maybe extend the curfew to around 11 p.m. in the evening. That allows a bit more trading hours, especially for the hospitality sector. And then, of course, on-site alcohol consumption is critical for us as well as part of the experience for visitors and for locals. And then for us, it's about the UIF and tours. That needs to be extended for the sector. But there's also a big backlog that we want the president to focus the attention on, specifically for the tourism sector, because we have been the hardest hit. Other things that we would like the president to look at is South Africa is on the UK red list, which means that it's a no-go zone for UK visitors, which is our biggest source market as Cape Town and South Africa. So we need government to intervene, government to government, to see how they can remove us from the red list and really look at travel advisories around the world to make sure we can travel safer. South Africa is safe. When you look at our numbers compared to even the UK, we're still better. So I think what we're looking for from the president is leadership and looking after the sector that at one stage was the golden goose for the country and was also part of job creation. If you look at it, the last lockdown we experienced in December in our high season, we lost about 12,000 jobs. Now, we are starting another survey from tomorrow on, and we hope the president is hearing us and saying, I understand you guys have been suffering, and what we're going to do is we're going to open up, we're going to bring things back, and we also want to ramp up the vaccination, because that's the only way we're going to get through this and allow for travel confidence.
You're painting a very grim picture regarding job losses and the surveys that you are doing. But moving forward, should we remain in alert level 4 or the president implement a stringent, rather lockdown? How long can the tourism sector in Cape Town survive?
Well, we're not surviving at the moment. I think the reality is that a year ago, in March, we looked at this being a short lockdown. We're a year and a half in, and we're not surviving. And that's why we are urging the president. We need drastic interventions from government and allowing us to trade, allowing us to operate, but also looking at grants and loans to the sector. It's important for us.
Thank you so much. That is Enva, the CEO of Cape Town Tourism. The president is on the hot seat, listening to the various industries and their expectations and anticipations ahead of the president's announcement in about an hour's time regarding their sectors, and asking the president to ease the restrictions a little bit in order for them to, catch up following a year of hard lockdown, rather being in a pandemic and their businesses being adversely affected.
All right, that's reporter Nasiphi there coming to us live from Cape Town.